Hi, I'm Tim Autrey, founder and CEO of the Practicing Perfection Institute and the Executive Director of the Human Performance Association. The question I'm going to answer today is, how can you get leadership support for your performance improvement initiatives? A couple of months ago, we made a survey available to almost 5,000 people through the Practicing Perfection Institute, and it was a single question survey, which was, what is your biggest current challenge relative to improving performance within your organization? The results were actually kind of amazing. Now, coming in at the top three, first of all, number 3 was how to change the culture. That's really no surprise. Focus on changing culture has been around for quite some time. Number 2 was how to get worker buy-in. Again, that's an issue that a lot of people seem to be struggling with. But what really surprised me was the number 1 item came in as lack of leadership support. What really surprised me was it was by a factor of more than 2 over either getting worker buy-in or how to change the culture. So this is a big deal. So let's talk real quickly about how you can greatly enhance your ability to get leadership support for your performance improvement initiatives. Now, one of the things I will say is we have to have some feeling for where senior leaders are coming from, and I will tell you that it takes guts for them to stick their head up out of the foxhole, so to speak, and focus time, energy, and resources on human performance. The reason for that is because it's counterintuitive. And what I mean by that is the short-term and long-term consequences of the choices we make are typically different and often opposite. You see, as you get really high up in the leadership chain, very senior leaders have to report profits, for example, on a quarterly basis. Well, that's once every 3 months. That's pretty darn short term. Focusing on performance improvement typically has a payback period that's longer than that, so it's counterintuitive. You want to keep that in mind as you move forward in your influence. Now, for overall general influence, we have the individual performance model. And as we talked about in video number 8 of this series, if you understand this simple recipe and become a master of it, you can influence any other human being to do virtually anything you want them to do. So I highly encourage you to take a look at that if you haven't already. But then let's talk about leadership specifically now. And let's get back to the very fundamental level that all of us, no matter what we're doing, when we're making moment-by-moment choices, they are either to avoid pain or access pleasure. So you want to begin thinking about, okay, this is the leader that I want to influence. What's their pain? What's their pleasure? And you want to come at it from the perspective of what's in it for them. And then, because, as we know, a confused mind resists, a confused mind says no, you want to make everything fast, simple, and easy. Boil it down into simple little chunks that anybody can understand. Now, if money is the big issue, if all the rest is in order, but money is the big issue, then I want to remind you about the cost of error calculator, which is also covered in this video series, and highly recommend that you go there, watch that video, download the calculator, download the user guide, and by the way, there is a link to do that below this video. Okay, so we've covered the different angles. Remember, you want to influence leadership, whether it's at your site level or whether you're a site leader and you need to influence corporate people. Avoidance of pain, acquisition of pleasure, and you can use the cost of error calculator to make a business case. Now, the one final thought I want to leave you with on this is persistence. Persistence is to the character of a person what carbon is to steel. And I will tell you, one of the greatest success stories of PPI history involved a bargaining unit member persisting for over a year and a half before he finally convinced his site general manager to implement Practicing Perfection. That station went on to be one of our greatest success stories of all time. And if you'd like to hear from some of the people that were involved in that, watch the documentary on Practicing Perfection, which is also provided below this video. I'm Tim Autrey. Thanks for watching. If you found this information to be valuable and would like to receive free access to an entire library of videos answering the top questions people ask me about human performance and reducing human error, visit futureofperformanceimprovement.com.